I now request Shri Mahesh Bhatt, renowned filmmaker and writer, to give the keynote address. Could we hear it a little louder, please?
Janab, Deputy Chief Minister Sahab, Begum Sahiba, friends. Audacity, audacity, audacity. That is the lifeblood of performing art. The perfume of Kader Ali Beg Sahab lingers in this auditorium. We entertainers, performers live with the dread that after our demise, the footprints of our existence would be erased from the sands of time. And it often happens that way. But some people in the lifetime do work that contribute to generations after. And those are the people that times never forget. Mr. Beg was one such person. Reviving, inspiring, motivating. What drew me to theatre? Ram Gopal Sahab, I couldn't have imagined in my life that from the movie world I would step into the world of theatre. If it hadn't been for that call that a friend of mine from Delhi, Imran Zahid, made to me and said that you have been an advocate of this horrendous war that was waged by America in Iraq. You stood up against it. There is a gentleman called Muntazar Al-Zaidi who has written an autobiography. Muntazar Al-Zaidi is that infamous person who hurled a shoe at George W. Bush to express his outrage against the bloodbath of Iraq. And Imran said, why don't we adapt his autobiography into a play? And I jumped at the idea. Because never would I be given the kind of money or that space to translate that autobiography onto celluloid. And I felt that the world had failed to articulate the horrors that were waged in Iraq. A very able film director, theatre director, who works on the streets of Delhi, helped us to craft that brilliant play. And we wanted to call Mr. Al-Zaidi for the event. But just days before the event, the Ministry of Home started playing hide and seek and was reluctant to give a visa to Mr. Zaidi. We confronted the bureaucrats and said that, look, the Constitution of India gives us the right to dare to say things the way we see it. The freedom of speech is the lifeblood of my great country. And if we do not do that, we will go to the press and make this public. That's what made them backtrack. And we got a visa, and Muntazar Al-Zaidi came to India and we did that play. Nowhere in the world would we get the opportunity to perform that play. Not Pakistan, not Bangladesh, not the Middle East countries. This is the heritage of this great country. Our founding fathers fought for that freedom. And I think it's with great pride that I say that it's only India and India alone that gave us the opportunity to stage that play. In these times when the sounds are emanating from every nook and corner of our country about rising intolerance in the country, it's the duty of the playwright and the theatre activist to commit himself to the voice of those who are oppressed. Because I think theatre doesn't side with those who write history, but those who live under the boot of history. Muntazar al-Zaidi lived under the boot of history. George W. Bush wrote history. By doing the last salute, we did give that individual and the people of Iraq that center stage to articulate their anger and their anguish. I think it's very important that in these times when the majority narrative seems to be compelling people in this market-driven age to sing just one song, it's important that theatre fights to retain that alternate worldview, where the voice of dissent is once again heard, because we are losing that audacity to say things as we see them and as we experience them. And if theatre cannot do that, you will not be able to revive the spirit of theatre. I think Mr. Qadir Ali Beg fought for that right. You mentioned to me that Sakharam Binder, Tendulkar, who was perhaps somebody which was alien to Hyderabad, was brought here by him. So I think we need in these times to commit ourselves to the voice of the oppressed and give them the center stage and use our craft and the art form to amplify that voice, because the cinema, which is a medium of mass entertainment, television, which is committed to mass consumption, cannot but sing you songs that lull you to sleep. Theatre can inspire, compel you to think or things which you are frightened to think about. Theatre can make you empathize with the suffering of a fellow human being. And I think unless we rekindle that spirit, which is dying in our country, I don't think we will be able to give momentum to the theatre movement. Because if it conforms to the dictates of the marketplace, then it becomes like television, then it becomes like cinema. And then you lose the heartbeat of this great art form. And people like Qadir Ali Beg were courageous people who dared to walk alone. And that is why, after his demise, years later, we sit down here and remember him, and his perfume lingers. So, coming back to what I said, audacity, audacity, and audacity. Audacity is to see life with your own eyes and interpret life on your own terms, because the founding fathers of our country gave us the right to say things fearlessly. What good is the right to free speech when you don't have free thought? I think free thought needs to be brought back, and the theatre is that temple where free thought can be once again celebrated. Thank you, and I wish I'm here again and again to inhale this perfume. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatt, for such wonderful, inspiring words.